Hi and welcome back to my channel. So it's February, and when it's February, it's Valentine's Day. And when it's Valentine's Day, there is love in the air and there is love everywhere. Now, for those of you who maybe are not in a relationship, I know how difficult it can be to find the right person. You have to kiss a lot of frogs to get to your prince. I think we've all been there and we know how challenging it can be. So I sat down with relationship expert Paul C Brunson to get his thoughts on how to find a great relationship, and once you have that relationship, how to keep it.
Can you share with us just what makes a successful relationship in your view?
Sure, communication.
Yeah.
Hands down, like without a doubt. And I know we often hear that, but without communication, you don't have a relationship, right? You have an agreement, right? But you don't have a real relationship. So you really need to have that. Then there's some other elements, like you want to have matching values. I talk about that a lot. I have a whole chapter,
Yes.
chapter 4 in the book.
Yep.
Is so values is very important. You want to look for other things like complementary personality, right?
Okay.
So you don't want to have the same personality, but you want to have a complementary personality because that helps us communicate,
Okay.
right? So there are many things like that, but number one is strong communication.
Okay. So I'm going to touch on what you've just said because I did make a note from your book about something, about something that specifically. Now I'm asking this because I need.
Oh, I see it underlined in here, highlighted.
Underlined and all sorts going on in here. And there's a point in here where you talk about a couple where you say that one of them was the engine and the other was the starter, and they kept each other going.
Right.
And what's interesting for me in the relationship that I'm in is I find that I'm very different to my partner, and sometimes I find that really difficult in that I would say I'm the starter, I'm the visionary, I'm the entrepreneur, and I'm the risk taker, and I'm the one that wants to go out there and save the world and change the world. But he's the left brain, and he's the logical thinker, and he's analytical.
Okay.
And it frustrates, if I'm honest, it frustrates me.
Sure.
I'm like, oh my gosh, he needs a bit of fire to
Right.
not
Some
to
push.
analyze everything. So how does somebody like me and anybody else that's watching that has a similar kind of issue, how do we manage that? Because people say, well, we should compliment each other, but I get frustrated
With the compliment. You want the same, right? You want the same.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. The first thing that you did was very astute. You identified your personality type, which would be categorized as a promoter, according to Carl Jung, right?
Okay.
He said that there's 4 main personality types we have. We're either a promoter, a supporter, a controller, or an analyst. We all fit within one of those. So you're a promoter, right? Very much a promoter. What's interesting is I'm a promoter. Now, your boyfriend sounds like he's very much an analyst. Very analytical, very, right. It's all either right or wrong, no gray. Now, he's clearly an analyst. What that truly means is that you're actually both complementary. And the reason why you're both complementary is, imagine if he was in a relationship with another analyst and they got into a disagreement, right?
Yeah.
It would be crazy. Now, the key that could be missing, and I don't want to put this out there, but I hope, I don't know if he's watching this either, is you mentioned fire. Fire typically connects with ambition. Ambition is not a personality type, but a value. And so the real question is, when you get beyond personality type, do you and your boyfriend have the same values? Because here's what's happening, is your values are your rules to life, right? So it's like Natalie's rule book to life, right? Ambition is number 1, let's say. That means that you live by ambition, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing, right? If he doesn't live by that same exact value, that means that you're always, for the rest of your life, going to have a conflict when it comes to that. So I think the deeper question is to examine your values and his values and see if those align or not.
Okay.
The biggest myth about relationships, in my opinion, is that a relationship is about compromise. I say absolutely no. You don't compromise on the big things. So are we going to eat Jamaican food tonight or not? Okay, we can compromise on that. Are we going to go see the movie tonight or not? We can compromise on that. But when it comes to a value, like your belief, like your faith, like your religion, like your value of ambition, You can never compromise on that. You can never, because that is innately you. And if you compromise on that, that is the definition of settling. And when you settle, you always end up disappointed.
Yeah. A lot of relationships are now being formed online because of social media and technology and everything. How can we move that back to the original offline of actually face-to-face and meeting real people as opposed to people online?
You're not going to like my answer on this one either, but we can't. That ship has sailed. And here's the thing about online quote-unquote dating, right? It's a misnomer because we typically don't date online. What we do is we get introduced online, and that's completely fine. The key is to get the introduction and then to move offline quickly and then start your dating.
So I hope Paul's words of wisdom have helped you and have inspired you. I know when we did the interview, it was more like a counselling session, to be honest. It was fabulous because I could pick his brains on all the things that were niggling me a little bit about my relationship. He really helped me to understand the ins and outs of what makes a great relationship. And I'll put all the links and everything to the full interview so you can go and watch that. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and I hope you have a fabulous Valentine's Day. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel and I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.